Alright, here's our second book, and at the end of this video there will be a little project you can do at home. This is called Panda and Polar Bear by Matthew J. Baek. In a place where spring met winter, there lived two kinds of bears. Where it was green and grassy lived the panda bears, and where it was white and wintry lived the polar bears. But in between loomed a tall, steep, and slippery cliff. It was too tall for a panda bear to climb up, and too tall for polar bear to climb down, and so the two never met. Until one curious polar bear became too curious. What was beyond his white wintry world? He walked closer to the edge of the cliff, and closer still, perhaps a little too close. Luckily, the polar bear landed in a patch of soft, squidgy mud. It was sticky and brown and yuck! Stomp, stomp, stomp. Something was coming. Polar bear ran, but the cliff was too tall, too steep, and too slippery to climb up. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The polar bear covered his eyes. He peeked from behind his muddy paws. And saw a strange, splotchy bear staring at him. "Are you new?" asked the strange, splotchy bear. "Do you want to play?" Said the polar bear. The splotchy bear took this as a yes. In no time they were climbing trees, playing hide and seek, and following the leader. Finally, they sat down for a snack. Yuck, thought the polar bear. This bamboo is too hard. He had a better idea. Let's fish, he said to his new splotchy friend. The polar bear looked into the water and gasped. Could it be? He wasn't plain white anymore. He had turned into a splotchy bear. Splash! He swam out, snatched a fish, and proudly presented his catch. "You're fading," the splotchy bear said. "Where are your panda patches?" "Panda patches?" the polar bear replied. "Aren't you a panda bear?" asked the splotchy bear. "No," he said quietly. "I'm a polar bear. I'm all white, just like snow." He sighed. What terrifically splotchy bear would want to be friends with a plain white polar bear? But the panda's face brightened. "I've never seen snow," he said. "What's it like?" So the polar bear explained all about snow. But the more he talked, the more he remembered, and the more he remembered, the more he missed. Suddenly the polar bear was homesick. "I'll help you get home," said the panda bear. "But the cliff," the polar bear replied. "I'll think of something," said the panda bear. So he thought and thought and thought until he couldn't think any more. "Maybe we could use bamboo," suggested the polar bear. "My mother told me never to play with food, but I think it's okay this time," said the panda bear. Together they made a very long ladder, a very, very long ladder. When it was finished, the time had come for the polar bear to go. He looked at the panda bear. Would they still be friends after he left? The polar bear wanted to ask, but he wasn't sure how. Instead, he turned and slowly climbed the ladder, and climbed and climbed. The higher he went, the harder the wind blew. The ladder began to shake, and then it was suddenly still. The polar bear looked down. There was the panda bear, holding on to the ladder with all his might. "Don't worry," the panda called. "I've got you." In fact, had each other, and a lot more to discover. Alright, now time for our craft. And we did a panda bear, but you could do any other amount of bears. So the first one we did was with a paper plate. You need 2 circles, 2 ovals, and like a little triangle. Okay, so that's the first one. And then you have to color them in. Super easy, just color in all those circles you had. And then you cut them out, and you can tape them to a plate. You draw a little crescent here, and you just connect it up to the nose. And then it could be like a mask, or you could put a popsicle stick on it, and it could be a puppet. So that's up to you. Have fun. Share pictures with us. We'll love to see it. Okay, bye.